So, Brian, I know we were starting this out with a song. Can you sing for me? Or do we need the baseball announcer voice for this? Around town. Up to bat. Erin Wilde. No, I know I'm in like a different, I'm usually blinged out or high heel, got the workout clothes. I need to put on my jersey because I only have one jersey ever made for me. And it came from TK. We'll be matching. See this? Hey. To set the scene a little, it was, last year, my first year doing this. Celebrity Softball Classic.
Yeah, and you made the big video.
I did.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was up in my face. Now.
That was awesome that you got it.
One of the funnest things I've ever done. Here we go. How do I look?
Perfect. Yep.
But for an even
Wait a minute. Now
class.
I got you 92.1 this year too. Do you want a different number or you want 92?
No, I do 92.1 and I do 95.5.
It's
so
whatever number,
it's
whatever you want. Okay, we'll leave it 92.1.
What matters is I've got to do what I did again. RBI? What I did?
Yeah, RBI. Hit somebody in. Yeah.
Yes. And I've been running. I'm getting ready this year because.
Yes, good.
You know, we were at Texas Rangers Field last year.
Yeah. I
actually did not think you were going to put me up to bat. So I was like,
once you get out there, good luck to everybody, right? We kind of get the first roster set, and then from that point, like somebody just grabs, I think you were on Mike Kiselak. He was kind of helping coach, I think, on your team last year from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
So he was the big guy. So he was really good at grabbing people and going, hey, you go back, you get up there.
Great.
And he'll be coaching again this year. Yes.
And, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, my heart was exploding out of my chest when they called my name. And
yes.
I'm like, up to bat, Texas Rangers Field. You had MLB, NFL, movie stars, rappers, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, am I really doing this? And then at Globe Life Field.
Right. Now you're on the really coolest, like one of the best stadiums, in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And, it was just a really fun experience. It's a really cool bucket list.
Absolutely. I mean, it was never on my bucket list, but probably the coolest thing. One of the coolest things I've ever done. I mean, pitching to me was the guy who does Cheaters.
Yeah, Tommy Habib.
Yes.
Tommy Habib, and also has, so he's the one who created the show Cheaters.
Yeah.
And then syndicated worldwide, but he also has the new show To the Rescue, which is also nationally syndicated right now. Not worldwide yet, but will be. But so he rescues dogs all over the United States, and then he finds forever homes for them. Is what he does, what the show's all about. So rescuing dogs and then getting them into a forever home. And that's what he does.
That's got to be a little more fun than,
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than breaking up marriages. Yeah. So, and then he is not, this is going to be the first year he won't play. This is our 9th game that I've done. This is the 3rd Celebrity Softball Classic, but my 9th overall game I've done since 2015. And Tommy is devastated. He actually has a gala for his foundation. I think it is called Forever Finding a Home or something for his foundation, but he's having it at Mar-a-Lago on November 4th.
Okay.
And he is devastated. And he was like, change your game. I'm like, I can't, because, kind of like Mar-a-Lago, this is the only day the stadium was like, this is the best time to do it in November. And, and moving the stadium from Globe Life Field to Frisco,
yes.
Because everybody's like, man, why aren't you doing it in June? I'm like, you don't live in Texas, do you?
All right.
And they're like, well, and I'm like, because it'd be about 105, 110 degree weather at night still. Right. And the seats in the stadium are always still a little warm at that time from sitting in the sun all day.
Brutal.
And it's not always the funnest time to be hanging out at Frisco. So even though they always have great attendance out there, I thought, what? Why don't we wait and push it to an early fall where, it's in mid to high 70s, where it's comfortable, it's fun.
Those few weeks we get nice weather.
Yes, that's just like perfect weather, right? Yeah. And November 4th just happened to be one of the days they had available, and it was like, man, let's lock it in, let's do it. So I'm excited for it. And Frisco is a completely another level stadium. It's probably the best stadium, I think, in minor league baseball, and I've been to a ton of them all over America. But the thing I love about Frisco, Globe Life is cool because it's MLB and is Globe Life, right? But we had 13,000 some change, almost 14,000 people last year, and it looked like we had like 5. Right? And people are like, oh, you only had like 5,000. I'm like, we had almost 14. It was crazy. But the stadium's so ginormous, it just doesn't always look that way, right? So this is going to be more intimate. But the other thing I don't like, because these games I do these games for the fans. And it turns into a big family reunion, as you found out last year. Like everybody, this is where everybody just comes. This is our big family reunion. This is a time for for me to get to see a lot of people because everybody's schedules are so busy. It's the one time a year we can get everybody in one place for the weekend and just enjoy, right?
Well, and speaking of those schedules, I mean, the lineup of celebrities that you bring.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. I've never seen so many in one place at one time.
I've literally, just this week, I probably really big names that I'm like, I love you. You're going to have to get back to me next year. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we have like 70 people per team. And it's just crazy. And, I mean, we could have 200 per team, honestly. I mean,
well, and the coolest thing about it is, you know, all these huge names, but coming together for what you do with the Celebrity Softball Classic. Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing.
Well, the other thing we changed this year, too, is, you know, we had the veterans with the celebrities last year.
Right.
And it's always fun for the veterans, but, you know, again, the fans want to see the celebs.
Yeah.
So, but the veterans, once you get them on the field, you can't get them off the field, and I don't blame them. I'd be the same way. So we're actually doing a veteran co-ed game first this year. So they're getting their own game. And then there'll be a handful of guys and girls who, like I said, been with me since our first game in 2015 that will actually get to stay and hang out for the celebrity game, too, and have some fun. Right. So they'll get their game, and then the celebrities will get their game. You know what? I thought by having the veteran game, I wouldn't have as many celebrities because it's like, well, we'll cut the roster in half by doing this. But again, it's just been so many. And what happens is every year somebody will play and they start putting on social media.
Right.
And then what happens is everybody, other celebrity friends of theirs, like Yellowstone in 1883, right? So JP Guana, who has played with me several years, he started posting it, and then like all these Eric Nelson from 1883 and all Wayne Garner and all these guys would start telling him like, oh my God, JP, we want to play in this too, right? And that's always fun too because then you get to meet a lot of other new people, and it's just a really cool experience. And and again, raising money for, I think we have, just off the top of my head, we might have more now, 16 veteran charities that we're raising. And what we've done with them this year too is I've challenged all of them to actually put a little work in themselves. Right. And it's like, we're going to take care of the platform because this game is supposed to help raise a bunch of money for a bunch of charities. But there's, you know, unfortunately, even though we are raising money for charities, there's still just a ginormous cost to do these games. It's high six figures. So the charities and going to all of them and going, look, I would, you know, because everybody's calling going, how do we get involved? How does our charity get involved? So I went to them and said, look, if you raise $10,000 for yourself, you get to keep 100% of it and your charity's in. We'll just do it that way. I'll pay for the platform to have the game, get everybody there, have fun. You help yourself and use my platform to help you raise money. And we'll go there. And it's funny because one of my really close friends, David Bohr, who played in the NFL, who created the Adaptive Training Foundation, Jessica and I was meeting with his team at his facility, and he was like, what if we raised $100,000? And I'm like, that's what your mindset should be, is to be greedy with this. Like, raise as much money as you can for this event for yourself. And because again, honestly, without the event, there is nobody's raising any money.
Absolutely.
Now, my sponsors and friends, I say sponsors are really just close friends. I have corporates, and even myself. You know, they're like, oh, we get it because last year we donated X, but we donated 15, but you're only able to give 20 grand back. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, the event was over $200,000 last year, and I'm like, now we can actually do a ton more with a lot less. So they're more excited now because they're like, oh, now we get it. Now, if we can help you create the platform, we can actually do all this. So it's been really exciting. It's been a really big win-win. And again, it's kind of like, okay, my 9th year of doing these, and I'm just now figuring this one out. Like, okay, well, now another check mark. It just keeps every year, something just keeps getting better every year.
Well, and last year you actually gave a home.
Yes, Helping a Hero gave a home to one of our good friends, Travis Strong. He was in an IED accident, lost both of his legs. He actually is a trainer now at the Adaptive Training Foundation. So he trains adaptive athletes. And so it's funny because him and his wife, Brittany, who's also an Army veteran, they're telling me they're kind of, they're having trouble with their house. And I was over there, and he was having trouble kind of getting around. They had rented a place. So we put him in. I said, go fill out this application. I don't know if it'd help, but for Helping a Hero, and just let's see. And, of course, I called Meredith Eiler and said, hey, there's this young man. He just filled out his application. She called me, and she's like, let's give him a house at the celebrity game.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, done. So I called Brittany and said, because they both were playing in the game.
Right.
So I called Brittany and I'm like, listen, is Travis with you? No, just me. And I was like, are you sitting down? I'm driving. I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you something. Don't go crazy on me. And what happened? What is it? I'm like, well, Meredith Eiler called, and you guys are approved for Helping the Hero, and Johnny Morris from Bass Pro Shops and Lennar Homes here in North Texas are going to build you guys a home. And she was like, she's crying. I'm like, here's the deal, though. Like, that's the good news. Here's the other crazy news, though, I need your help with, is both for you and Travis, but they're giving it to Travis, right? And I'm like, but we can't tell him. And so you're going to have to hang on to this secret for like 30 days or so, right? You're going to have to hang on to it because we want to surprise him at the game. And you saw how emotional he got.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
I get emotional thinking about it. But to see him, how emotional he got and what it did for him. Yeah. The coolest thing is, out of 14,000 people that was there, the coolest thing is every single person after the game and later on, I saw people weeks and months later was like, TK, the coolest thing from that game is when that soldier got that home. Yeah. And so we've got some surprises up our sleeve this year, Meredith and I, and really Helping a Hero does. And so it's going to be exciting this year. But what we're doing also is every charity is going to get a check presentation, but they each get to run a 2-minute video of who they are, what they do. At the it's a 2-minute video, but a minute and a half of who they are, what they do. The last 30 seconds is their logo and a text to donate. So my goal is to get 1,000 people, and we'll have 10 to 12,000 people at this game. I think I just literally was talking to the stadium before I came in here, and I think we're almost sold out, if not sold out. So you got to get your tickets. Yeah, you better be getting in immediately because it's close. But I'm going to try to get 1,000 people that are in that stadium to donate $10 to each charity, which would be about $160. But if 1,000 people did that for all 16 charities are going to walk out with another 10 grand each, which would be awesome. Yeah. Right. On top of everything and I mean, we have I know there's another foundation that raised $150,000, and we have a bunch of people that raised $25,000 and $50,000. So, I mean, this platform, this game could probably end up with the help of the foundations putting the work in too, and the help of their donors and sponsors. I mean, it could end up being over $300,000 that ends up being raised for these charities over this game, which is really exciting. Yeah. Great thing, great cause. Do you want to talk about some of the big names that will be out there playing? I mean, because like the game, I remember, I slid into first, and my son's like, "You don't actually do that, Mom." And the guy who was catching it, like, that was a whole big show. I remember it was Shane Crutchen from the UFC, who was half naked. Yeah. And, I just happened to turn around and look at him, and he's out there in his little, I don't know what the little Marine shorts that they wear, but. Painted up. Yeah, but the Marines and Army wear those. More so the Marines wear those. I can't remember those shorts called. But anyway, he had them on. Uh-huh. Air Force guys, we like a little bit longer shorts than that. But I turned around, and that's all he had on. That cleats, and his hat was backwards, and he had his, what's the sunglasses, him and the Gronkowskis, not Pitbull, but the Pit Vipers. And he had a GoPro. Yep. Funny. Oh, the Gronkowskis, they're all three, I call them the odd Gronkowskis because it's the oldest. There's 5 Gronkowskis total. It's the first, third, and fifth Gronkowski that's playing. Mm-hmm. So I call him the odd Gronkowski. Mm-hmm. So it's the oldest brother, the third born brother, and the fifth and the youngest that are playing in this. Gordy, Glenn, and Chris. And all of them play pro ball. Gordy played pro baseball, and then all the 4 brothers underneath them all played in the NFL. And I believe it's Chris also won a Super Bowl with Rob Gronkowski when they both played for the Patriots, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But you've got the DOC from NWA coming back. You've got, and he's actually bringing his daughter. His daughter is Erykah Badu's daughter. So DOC and Erykah Badu had a daughter, and it's so Puma's coming, which is kind of fun because it's kind of like having your baby niece get to come out and hang out and have some fun and get some content. And but from a father's variety, it's all over the place.
One of my favorite models was there. She was on my team. I'm like, wow, how cool. My locker last year was next to one of the Dallas Cowboy greats,
Kenny Gant, the Shark.
I can't remember now. I just remember thinking, whoa, PBR.
Yeah, we got Zeke
announcers.
Mitchell coming back. Matt West from the official announcer for PBR. He's coming. Bonner Bolton, who was a PBR star, broke his neck, went on Dancing with the Stars, big Tom Ford model now. Has his own ranch doing rank ride. He's got a lot of things going on. We have Dave Samsel, who was a bull riding world champ really before PBR started. So he was, I guess, NFR or whatever that. I think it would be like an NFR, I guess, or PRCA world champ bull rider. Anyway, he was a world champ. Like you said, we got plenty of supermodels. Our own Erin Wilde's one of them. We got supermodel Erin Wilde out there. So
we'd say supermodel.
we got her out there with us. But we, we have Heather Anderson's coming back and playing,
Okay,
right?
awesome.
So HA's coming back as well, and and that's what happens with you got Ryan Kolesko, Major League Baseball great. He's playing Marty Turco, Dallas Stars great. You got Kevin. We got tons of Texas Rangers from Derek Holland, Kevin Minch, Mark McLemore, Gerald Smiley, Cameron Lowe. You got Phil Koch, who is a World Series champion pitcher with the Yankees. I mean, yeah, it's and then you got you got a lot of movie stars from and TV stars that are in this as well, and it's kind of nuts, to be honest with you.
It really is. I've been part of award shows and different things like that, but this is probably the most celebs in one place that I've ever seen, and such a variety, and then for just such a great cause. So
yeah, and the one thing you see out there is no egos. I mean, everybody's just having the best time. Nobody, you don't see, it's kind of funny. After last year, my film crew that does my game, they went and did a big celebrity game, like Lil Wayne. Everybody was like, it was a big game out there in Dodger Stadium for some kind of big award show, and they were like, first of all, you guys had 3 times the amount of people in the stands. Number 2 is the celebrities, like they didn't want us to talk to them, film them. Like it was so divish. It was absolutely no fun.
yeah,
And again, we have, we all get together. We all hang out on Friday night before the game. We have the game on Saturday, and then we all get to hang out afterwards. And again, it's just a family. It really has become a family affair. And it's so much fun getting the veterans involved too, because they're big sports fans as well, right? And this is, for a lot of them, they're like, when you say a bucket list item, this is beyond bucket list for one of them, right? And even me being a veteran, I'm not a celebrity, but I played in the first game we did, and then after that game, my wife's like, nobody really cares if Tim Clum plays. Like, you need to kind of be doing what you need to be. Like, this is your game. You need to be Jerry Jones in it with your sponsors, and you need to be that guy. Like,
but a veteran is a bigger deal than a celeb.
Yes, and it's just so much fun for those guys and girls to have the opportunity, because here's the best part about these games. There's a lot of fortunately for me, I get to know everybody.
Yeah.
Right. But there's celebrities that come in, don't know other celebrities. There's veterans that come in, don't know other veterans. And by the end, and then there's veterans that don't know celebrities, and celebrities don't know veterans. But by the end of the game, again, we might have 200 out of 2 games. We're probably going to have about 250 total participants. And I promise you, after this weekend, all 250 people will be family.
Yeah.
By the time the weekend's over with, and including spouses, kids.
Right.
Kenny Gant, again, 2-time Super Bowl champ from the Dallas Cowboys when they were champs. Like, he has stayed in touch with so many of the veteran families and sends them stuff, and from all over the United States that have come into this game. And it's just, and he's not the only one. I mean, from the Gronks, from you name it, everybody. It just, again, it's not really like, they don't look at him like, well, you're a veteran or you're a celeb or you're just family. Right.
Yeah,
and that's just how this has
one of my
turned
favorite
out.
sheriffs I've always followed on
Mark Lamb.
Fox. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's running for a Senate spot, and he was going to come, but he's kind of on the political trail right now, and him and his beautiful wife don't know if they're going to be able to make it or not. But I told him, I said, I know you're not doing anything because your bodyguard, Shannon Rich, who's a UFC fighter, he's coming and playing in it. So I know you don't have anything scheduled because he's not going to be with you. And he started kind of laughing. He's like, yeah, there's a little bit more than just always being out on the circuit. I'm just so slammed with right now. But and again, Shannon Rich was a world champ, and Tito Ortiz beat Shannon Rich to get the world championship when he was a baby. When he first came into UFC. So, so Shannon the Can is coming, and like I said, I mean, there's so many celebrities. I can't even. There's sometimes I'll even look at the roster myself. Like I was getting everybody's jerseys lined out for the apparel team, and I'm going, oh my God, I forgot that. I'm getting excited. Oh, I forgot they were coming. I forgot she's coming. I forgot they're coming. And so it's just so exciting. And our biggest thing is, again, we want to make sure the fans have the best time. And Frisco Rough Riders for sure is one of those fields that is so super fan friendly. Globe Life is awesome, but it's corporate now. It's not overly fan friendly. You can't really do autographs like you could at the old Globe Life, where at the old Texas Rangers ballpark where they could come up to the wall and sign autographs before a game. Can't do that anymore at this stadium, but at Frisco you sure can. And we will have. So we have a certain amount of celebrities starting the game, but we can only have 30 people on the field. So it was kind of like, what am I going to do with all these people? Either I got to be that guy and go, we're only taking 30. Right. Or I got to figure out another way to do it. And actually the ballpark was like, hey, we could kind of turn this into a fan fest, so we could put tables up here for everybody. And, fans could come and get some autographs for a few innings or something and meet everybody. And we could kind of go that route. I'm like, done, we'll do that. So after we announce all the teams, we do our pregame, we have all of our fun. We're going to have skydivers coming in, special operations team skydiving in the stadium, super patriotic, super fun. But after we get through that, the 30 celebrities starting the game will be on the field. Everybody else will go up to the tables to sign autographs and have fun with the fans. I think it's going to be
one of the coolest days ever.
It's going to be freaking nuts, but it's going to be super, super fun for sure.
Yeah, I could just get chills.
Yeah, I'm really excited because we're only like 3 weeks out now, and usually at this point I'm usually walking around the house talking to myself like, why are you doing this? Like, because I do have I do have a life, right? I do have several companies that we run on a daily basis and everything going on. And luckily I have an unbelievably great team, through Verve that they kind of know like, okay, we just need to handle everything and let TK go focus on the game, and we'll handle everything on this side. So it's
Verve
great to have that
yours
team. Yes.
And the presenting sponsor.
Yep.
What all do you guys have? Because I am super.
We do a lot of everything we do is all health and wellness.
Okay.
So we created the company because of our performance mouthpieces, and they're kind of on market. If you don't know about them, you don't know about them.
Right.
We're actually getting ready to start doing some IRB approved studies with the U.S. Air Force Academy again next month in November, which we're excited about. But they're all custom made, so we actually need more elves in Santa's workshop to handle the amount that's coming in, right? And we've got everybody from NASCAR, PBR, obviously the normal sports, NFL, NHL, MLB wear our products, Premier League soccer wears our football, I guess I should say. Soccer in the U.S. wear our mouthpieces. But so that was our core, but then we got into CBD because some veterans contacted me and it's like, hey, CBD is illegal, and this is what it's done to help us get off our prescription meds. And I didn't really realize what a problem the prescription meds were in America until I started hearing some of their stories. And so we created our brand, and we once we created it, then we went 50% off 100% of the time. So we can compete with any of the big ones out there, Charlotte's Web, the big ones. But my biggest thing is like, how as a veteran paying $300 a month for this one bottle going to help, like they can't afford it.
Right.
So I'm like, we're 50% off 100% of the time. We just want to make sure they get it, right? I love that. And then we, the other thing is too, because I didn't grow up with, my mom was single mom, worked 3 jobs, me and my brother, and you didn't realize, we were talking about Little Debbie earlier, but we didn't eat overly healthy, right? We had the mac and cheese and the hot dogs and the whatever, my mom could get the most bang for her buck, right? So it wasn't always the healthiest. Luckily for us, we were overly super active, so it didn't really hurt us out of the gate. But what I started looking at is like, man, you almost have to be healthy to be wealthy in America. What Jessica and I go and spend $100 at Walmart, HEB, wherever, we can hand carry a little basket because we're usually over in the produce or, healthy stuff, right?
Yeah. Shop the outskirts.
Yeah, so we can walk with a little hand carry basket, and we're spending $100, no problem. Yeah. Now, the mom can spend $100 on the inner aisles and fill up a complete basket full of everything, right? But you start looking at that basket, and you're like, man, this is not a good thing. And then the other thing is, if you start paying attention in America, most people are on the verge of being obese, if not a little bit on the heavy side, and it's because of our diets and the way we eat. And even one of my partners that came from the UK over here, he's like, why everybody calls you American pigs? And I'm like, I've got ideas. And he's like, well, look at our dinner portions right here.
Yeah,
that
the
we're
plates are
eating.
huge, the portions.
He's like, we don't have to-go bags. We don't have to go over
Right.
there. We don't have doggy bags or whatever you call them over here. Like, our portions are just enough that it's going to feed us, keep us healthy, and move on, right? And Jessica and I were looking at that like, that makes a lot of sense. But getting back to Verve, so we wanted to make products that you didn't have to be wealthy to be healthy. So the other thing that happened is, and we want products that's going to help you live your life optimized, right? So during COVID, Jessica is a big vitamin person anyway. And we were probably spending $300 a month easily on vitamins.
Right.
And I took them for like 3 days and was like, you know what? I'm done with vitamins. I'm going to take, I'll drink orange juice and work out outside in the heat. Like, I'm done with it because I do not like to take pills. And so I was telling my partner about it. He was like, man, too bad we don't know somebody that can make sprays. And I'm like, you know what? I do know somebody. Let me make a few phone calls. So we ended up partnering up with him in his lab. And so we created vitamin sprays. We have a multivitamin, and it's just 8 squirts in your mouth, and 1 tube will last you an entire month.
Really?
It's TSA approved, so you could carry it in your backpack, your purse, carry it right on a plane, made in an FDA approved lab. So with our sprays, and then the other thing is, what's funny is, all the focus groups are like, yeah, the minimum should be like $49.95 for this 1 month spray. And 1 tube, again, 8 sprays a day will last you an entire month. The sprays is a 90% absorption rate, right, compared to a pill that's 20%. So we started looking at the price, and I said, we're not doing $49, whatever they offered. I said, we're going to be at $28.95. And then if we want to give a discount to whoever, we're going to, like, we need to sell these for really about $19.95 is where we need to be. So you can pretty much get our monthly sprays for $19.95.
Okay,
Jessica,
where do you get them?
Yeah, Jessica doesn't even
Sign
use,
me up.
well, she doesn't even take vitamin like that anymore. She'll take some probiotics, that's about it. She'll just only do the sprays now. But so we have a multivitamin. We have one that's called Skinny, which is an appetite suppressant. It's a B5. And you take it about 30, 40 minutes before you eat. And the reason why is because if you're like us, who's all day you're running, or you don't have a time schedule to eat. Like last night, I didn't eat all day, got home, everybody's at the house, kids, everybody, and I was just starving, right? So it's like, let me stop and drink some water, take this spray, so when I do sit down, I don't just gorge myself, right? Because that's really what I want to do. But so we have an appetite suppressant to help you with that. Then we have one that's called Skinny. Oh, that's it. That's the appetite suppressant. Then we have one that's called Sunny, which is your D3 vitamins, which everybody is lacking, which if you don't get enough D3, that causes a ton of other problems you can look up. So, and then we have one for like flu season, which we call Code. It has vitamin C and zinc in it, which also will help fight the COVID bug. We're not
things.
Let me put my disclaimer. We're not saying this stops COVID.
Right.
But it would definitely help. So vitamin C and zinc in that one. And again, 8 sprays every single day will last you an entire month. Then we have one for energy, which is B12. And then we have, and everything we have in these are all natural supplements. And then the number one seller we have is sleep, our sleep spray. And you take 6-8 squirts in your mouth before you go to sleep, and you're done. Like, you will sleep like a baby. I do it every single night. Jessica does every night. And we wake up every morning at 5 a.m. to do our workout. And, we wake up refreshed because we get so much REM, like we're in such an REM that when we wake up, we're ready to go.
That's awesome. Because sleep is also a problem.
That's the number one thing.
There's so much processed food and so many pills in America, but there's also such a lack of sleep. I mean, you add all those things. And
it's hard if you're busy all day too, like if you're an A personality, like most people are, and you're at corporate world, or you're in here grinding, you just got so much stuff going on that when it's, kids, if you're a mom, moms have been sleep deprived from the moment that baby's been born.
Hello.
Like, our kids are 28, 25, and 20, and my wife still doesn't sleep ever since those babies have been born. She's got to check in with them before she goes to bed. Like,
check their location.
Let me make sure everybody's good. And I'm going, they're 28, 25, and 20, right? But that's a mom, right? So, moms are sleep deprived, right? And she sleeps with her phone on. I turn my phone off, but it's basically just for the kids, right? Like, nobody's going to call us after unless it's an emergency or the kids, right? So, so moms are sleep deprived, but most of our corporate individuals, again, because you just can't get away from your work anymore. Like, technology was supposed to help us, and I think it's made things worse. To the point now where usually I actually even turn my phone off at 7 o'clock at night, because you have to have that family time. You have to have the shutdown time. Because if you don't, whether it's social media, texting, emails, all the above, and I always was kidding Jessica not too long ago. Go, man, I missed the mid-'90s. When you left your work, you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless they left a message on your home phone, which you might not even listen to the next day, like you were done with work.
Right.
And those were actually really great days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now you can't really ever get away from it. But because of all that, it's hard when you're laying down because what happened, your mind's still running. A lot of people are taking, what I call processed energy products, whether it's, drinks or 5 hours or whatever, and then you're having trouble like getting your brain to slow down and shut down and turn off for the night. So, really you're lucky if you get a few hours of REM, but, you wake up tired the next day. And I just saw a stat that $415 billion is lost annually on the corporate level because of lack of sleep from their people, because their production level, right? They just come in and they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy when you think about it. So sleep is really everything starts with sleep.
Yeah.
The better sleep you get, the more sleep you can get, the more productive you're going to be, better life you're going to be, the more healthy you'll actually be.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
Amen.
So yeah, we have all those products, and then we have patriotic apparel that we just kind of started during COVID. Okay, well, let's start some patriotic apparel. We got nothing else to do, I guess, and so yeah, we got that too. But all of our products, you can go to Buyverve, BUYVERVE.com.
Okay.
And actually has all of our websites from all of our products there. So you just, whatever you want, click on that and take you to the website.
Sounds good.
Then if you want tickets for a celebrity softball game, you go to celebritysoftballclassic.org. Celebritysoftballclassic.org. You can find us on social media. You can it's under Celebrity Softball Classic on Facebook, Celebrity Softball Classic TX on Instagram. Okay. And then you can always find the websites through there too. And
then I saw yesterday some free tickets for first responders.
Yeah, so if you're any veterans organizations, first responders, we want you to bring your families too. We are giving away free tickets for all them. So awesome. Like the Fort Worth PD, we usually drop off 300 to 400 every month or every year to them. This year Frisco PDs definitely want some of their fire department as well. We have a ton of veteran charities that we're giving tickets out to for free as well. And what's happening, what's kind of crazy is the last year, somebody called me and said, hey, look, I want to donate $1,000. But what would that do for me? And I was thinking, and as I'm thinking, he's like, well, you know what? What if I just go to the website and buy $1,000 worth of tickets? Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I tell you what, if you just donate the $1,000, I'll give out double those tickets. And after last year, I think I'm just roughly around 4,000 to 5,000 tickets requests already for this year.
Wow. That
people are like, hey, can we get our free tickets? And it's like, of course, but people who donate $1,000, that $1,000 goes towards 200 tickets. Where if they were just to buy tickets, it would be 100 tickets. So we double the fund, and then we just give them back, right?
Awesome.
And the stadium's happy because they get their little what they need to make off of it, and everybody moves forward. But yes, again, this is for the veterans, first responders, families, and then we give a ton to kids too. Miracle League of Parker County and all the Miracle Leagues in DFW, which is special needs kids baseball organizations, and this year I've taken the first 3 rows around the stadium, around the field, and I pulled all those tickets to begin with, and all the Miracle League kids and some of the veterans and first responders children and Big Brothers Big Sister kids and some Boys and Girls Club kids. Like, they're the ones going to be on the wall. I want to make sure they're the ones who's getting the autographs and getting the selfies with the celebs, awesome. Not all the memorabilia. When we did the OUUT game with McConaughey, Toby Keith, and Clemens and I, and it was University of Texas versus University of Oklahoma, we kicked off OUT weekend. It took me a while, but after the second year, when you look at the field, it was all grown, mainly grown men, honestly. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. What caught my eye was somebody was trying to get McConaughey to sign an 8x10 photo. Mm-hmm. And I thought, who brought an 8x10 photo to the game? Like, who even thought about bringing it, right? And then you start paying attention and you start seeing people with, baseballs, like trying to holler at Clemens, or, a football is trying to holler at Vince Young. And then you're like, man, these are all memorabilia people up here on this wall. Mm-hmm. And then you start kind of looking, you're like, where's the kids? Right. Like, hold on, where's the kids and the families? And like, there's not even families up here. So, and then COVID killed both games, and then that's why we went to Globe Life. But I always said, when we go back to Frisco, I'm going to make sure those are going to be the kids around that wall.
Awesome.
And, so it's going to be fun. And, might even be some fireworks depending on weather. We'll know when we get closer. But, stadium is like, hey, why don't we do fireworks? And we might.
It's going to be a show.
It's going to be it's going to be an all-day filled with fun.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to be a
For such a
show.
great cause.
Yeah.
TK,
And again, we're going.
things
It's
to
almost
forward to.
$300,000 will be given out again
love it.
because of the donor sponsors, fans.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Okay. Thank you for what you do.
Oh, my
We'll
God.
see.
Thank you so much.
I heard I needed to work on my stance. It wasn't so good, so I'll be doing that.
Just don't slide into first base. I think you're good.
I've got that now.
Now, if y'all go to Celebrity Softball Classic, watch the video from last year. It's about 10, 12 minutes, but it's a whole
It's
full
so
weekend
good.
recap.
Yeah.
You're going to see your Miss Erin right there playing a little bit on there. She did make the final cut, and she has a pretty good little scene in that video, so it's a lot of fun.
I ran that whole thing. And that's why I run now. One of the reasons
Yeah.
I run now, because I remember some movie star was like, bring it in, bring it. I'm like, oh, God, you want me to keep going? I can't keep going. But it was one of those moments where you're running off adrenaline. So,
Right.
So fun.
Right.
So
It's
cool.
going to be a lot of fun, yes.
Thank
We
you for
can't wait to
coming
see
in.
everybody
Thanks
out
for
there. Oh, my
having
God.
me.
Thanks for having me as
Thanks for
always.
having me back.
Yes. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
We can't wait to see you and your family for sure.
Thank you.